Hey, how goes it? Ken Bozak here to talk about cryptocurrencies and cryptocurrency accessories. And today I'm going to talk with CryptoMaak and RiceCrypto. CryptoMaak, why don't you introduce yourself and then you can pass the mic on to RiceCrypto and he can introduce himself to the audience.
What up, CryptoMaak? You guys seen me on before. The exchange expert, the support expert, as they want to call me around the business. Been in here 2013, like I said. Just moving forward, man. Trying to help grow the space, trying to help other people avoid the common mistakes that a lot of people don't hit on when it comes to depositing, doing everything there is that goes on exchanges. You know, I'm there to get you guys set up. So any questions, you guys can always feel free to come to me.
That's what's up, man, the CryptoMaak. So my name is Chris Rice, a.k.a. RiceCrypto, and I was on Bozak's show about a month ago, and I try to educate people here on YouTube and try to steer people in better directions and stay away from scams. So basically, I'm an educator and an enthusiast like you, Ken, and I definitely enjoyed doing this roundtable with you, man. It's a fun time. Last time was great.
Yeah, dude, so let's talk a little bit about the SEC, CFTC. Did you guys check out any of that? It was like a 2-hour long fucking hearing. I watched the cliff notes and the highlights, but it looked very bullish on pro crypto and very, bearish on ICOs. What did you guys take away from that?
I think you said it right, man. I think this is going to be very positive for cryptocurrency and helping the innovation, but it's also going to be putting a lot of barriers up for these bad ICOs that are more speculative, that are more based on marketing and not on their technology. So I think personally it's going to be a good thing. I think Giancarlo and the SEC guy are good guys that are working for us, man. And I think that we should be appreciative to have people like that, that are looking towards the future. I mean, they're talking about their grandchildren and their children and making sure that they're preserving something for future generations, man. And that speaks volumes. So I got to give a shout out to both those dudes and what the SEC, the CFTC are trying to do. And hopefully it won't be too negative as far as the regulations go here in the U.S.
Well, they look like they were really positive about distributed ledger technology. They understand, and it looked like both parties embrace that in other industries. Mark, what did you think about that whole hearing?
I loved it. I mean, I woke up. First thing I woke up to that. So watched it from beginning to the end. And they were definitely bullish, that was for sure, besides one person who said it was going to ruin it. And, we all know what's going on with him. He's a felon, blah, blah, blah. So it's just, we're not going to pay attention to him. But the main thing of what I like that he did say is he then went on and said, don't forget your day jobs, that it's not just about, Main Street. You need to focus on Wall Street. Don't forget your day jobs. Just the other day, or last week, the 3 major banks hit with charges for market manipulation on gold. So, that's a big thing that goes on. XIV, another thing, and it dumped again today. We're seeing that, and a lot of people are losing millions and millions of dollars in the stock market for price manipulation, and that's just how it's always been. And it's time to get away from that area. So that was one of the things that I did like that he touched on as well, was, not to forget their day job. It's just like everyone said, he was just the hero that we need. Because it was about time. It's grown, Jordan Belfort and all those guys that are coming out, talking about crypto's a scam, this and that. It's like, well, you're living in a past that's your technology. That's what you grew up on. But you're not even given the other chance. It's just like, oh, well, I've seen this with Tulip Mania and all this. So they don't even give it a chance. It's just like, hey, Jordan, if I got you at Bitcoin at $3 and got you out at $6, would you be happy that I did that? Yeah, he would have. He's just so mad because he didn't think to get involved when it was actually, well, he's probably in jail at the time. We could ask. We can ask, one of his buddies that I could contact that I used to work for. Let's see what he thinks about it. Boca Raton, Florida. So, you know, it's just that's what everyone's going to do. They're going to create FUD, try to push the price down. I've seen it before. China banned. And it's like articles like, and I don't know why with like CoinDesk and a lot of these other companies, they put out these articles and they're crypto companies, but a lot of the articles is what helps spread FUD because the way that they word the articles it creates that FUD. It's like, oh, well, India banned crypto. Like, no, they're banning anonymous accounts for it and or like not allowing. It's not a full ban on crypto. So people take it out of context, and a lot of it's coming from these stories. But yeah, it's definitely bullish when it comes to what they're thinking, and that's why I love them and respect them the most. It's like, hey, like, you know, we're not going to be here much longer, and we need to focus on what's going to happen to our kids and their kids, and I feel the same way about like the presidential elections and stuff like that. It's just like, well, are they ever going to focus and worry about the people that are below them? Their main concerns always seems to be of their age generation and how they can get more money into their age pocket. And blockchain, it's different. A lot of people are saying millennials, but if you saw the rich list that was just unloaded, the average age was, I believe it was 42. That's not millennial. So, you know, it's definitely widespread when it comes to this. You have people that have been in businesses before crypto that were successful, made money, and now they're sticking around and, you know, helping other people that are in crypto and know crypto but don't know the business aspect. So you put those two together, and this is a powerful community, and that's why I love crypto and blockchain.
I thought the stats were fun, man. I thought the stats were pretty cool because the guy speaking on behalf of the CFTC, he mentions ICOs once. And the SEC mentions it 132 times. So ICOs beware. The SEC, they even said that not one ICO registered with the SEC in 2017. So that means about $5 billion was raised unregulated. Dude, that's insane. But when you think about that, that means institutional money was never really used. So until it's regulated, this is all, you know, us, you know, stoners and nerds and enthusiasts and some random uncle who may be actually an investor investing in these things. $5 billion. Wait till it's regulated and institutional capital gets a legitimate way to invest in ICOs. They do it through what currency, guys? Come on, Ethereum. Ethereum, baby. Just hold that ETH and wait for these companies that need it to enter these ICOs or to do their own ICO or whatever the case may be. But these are all things in the pipeline that this conversation that happened the other day on the 6th of February, 2018, that set that up in the pipeline because they looked very positive towards the technology and they wanted to pretty much encourage every industry to embrace this technology to make it cheaper, easier, faster to do what they already do if this technology can do that for them. And they want to do the do no harm you know, type of regulations, which is crazy because I personally, guys, I expected this whole meeting to go ape shit and like Bitcoin's a fucking scam and it's illegal, shut down the exchanges. I was really expecting that kind of like, you know, like throwing a chair in the air shit.
With the price being that it was, I mean, that definitely would have made you think that, you know, that when the government was doing this meeting, that it was going to be like, oh, shit, you know, the price is going down. They're just going to help drive it down worse. And it was like some of the best news we could have got recently. And Mark, when you mentioned something about the media talking about like India and about basically they're taking the truth and just not including all the truth. Yeah. You know, and I think a lot of that is being controlled by the big financial institutions and this big money. Like they're driving this price down. You know, they don't get into the markets until the streets are bloody as hell. So I think a lot of this FUD was created just like with Jamie Dimon, you know, or Jamie Dimon. You know, whenever he made his statement and the price declined. And then you saw that the bank, Swift Bank, got involved and bought some Bitcoin. So it's just driving the market down. So that these people, it's just as much as people who are scared and letting FUD control them, as much as those people are selling off, big money and other money is buying in. So, you know, it's incredible how I think these people are taking advantage of the media. So, you know, it's great that we got us doing this, and you got all these other alternate news sources that are able to educate people and steer people away from what the mainstream media is saying, because the mainstream media is controlled. And, you know, we got to take that in perspective. And a lot of people don't. You know, they watch CNBC and that dude was teaching about Ripple. What the hell? You know?
No, you're right, man. Hey, we got I want to shout out.
Have you seen that meme with the Ripple thing where he's like teaching?
Yeah, no, I saw that Ripple meme. How to buy Ripple at $3 and how to sell it at 70 cents. I want to do a quick shout out to everybody in the chat because it's everybody here. Start first with Big Chains, Big Chain GS. What up, Big Chains? Dana Walters, it looks like. Yes, we got Joe in the house. What up? It's me, Boss Lady. How goes it? Area 30. What's going on, Tom? Hey, Dana has a question for us, guys. They have a hearing coming up next week. Do you think that our current investments in altcoins and ICOs, e.g. ICX, I'm not sure ICX, will be in danger of a bad SEC decision? What do you think the effect will be prior to the hearing and after, especially if they call them securities? All right, I'll handle that first, and you guys can jump in at the end if you want. But for me, I expect them to declare them securities. They already made that pretty damn clear that that's where this shit is headed, and that may cause a panic in the market that exists today. The people that are in it right now may be freaking out like chickens without heads, and who can expect that? Like, nobody knows what chickens without heads will do. They don't know what pattern they'll run in, up or down. But that does give interest to new investors. That institutional capital we were just talking about, you know, RiceCrypto just said it. As the minnows move out, whales are moving in. This was early adopter, first mover advantage territory. Bitcoin's reaching, you know, over 10 years of age. It's getting closer and closer to, you know, being something more mainstream, and mainstream means regulated, has borders to entry, you know, so there's going to be all kinds of things that are new to the people that have been invested and involved in Bitcoin and ICOs, because it's been the Wild West. And now all of a sudden we got sheriffs fucking everywhere. Who knows how people are going to react when, you know, whenever they do something, they have to look over their shoulder, because sometimes you could have a really good trade and you're going to have to claim capital gains. But what if you have a bad trade and somehow lost that fucking trade book and you can't claim your capital loss or whatever, dude? It just makes people weary. So we're gonna maybe have a problem with the guys who are already in before these securities regulations start getting, you know, labeled over these ICOs. But the whales on the sideline outweigh the money in this market by 1,000%, dude. They're talking, they're not even interested until Bitcoin and crypto hits $1 trillion, because it ain't worth their money. And it's just not worth their money.
No.
Soon it will be. And I wanted to, you know, segue into something, unless you guys wanted to cover a little bit of that for Dana Walters over there.
Yeah, I mean, like that's exactly what I was going to say. After CRISPR, you know, that $1 trillion, you know, that's where we need to get to, and then they'll start taking it serious, and that's when the big hitters, you know, the Warren Buffetts of the world and stuff, will start taking us serious. You know, we were close to it before this crash, which, you know, we were there, so we're right on pace. You know, it just.
Dude, that crash was good though, man, because imagine if Bitcoin was $50,000 right now and it didn't have a correction.
Yeah. So,
do you know how scared I would be?
My first one when I bought originally at 30, within 3 weeks it went up to that 1,100 and then immediately dropped back down to 200. So that was the first crash that, like, I had seen, that being an investor at that time. You know, so in the past 4 years, it's been the same thing. In January, early February, Chinese New Year hits, and then it starts just pivoting back up.
Ooh, Chinese New Year is going to be a good one. And then, you know what? We have income tax season. This year, I think income tax season is going to have a big effect on crypto, because everybody in arm's reach of me, you, and everybody watching and listening Their friends and family, oh, I don't have money. I don't have money to invest. I don't have that extra cash laying around. But they're about to get an airdrop of fiat coin in their bank account. They're going to trade that shit coin for Bitcoin, boy. I'm excited for it.
I've already had a bunch of my friends contact me. Hey, I'm getting my check next week. What do I invest in? And I was just like, right now, just stick to the main ones. Like, I would avoid a lot of these
Coinbase
altcoins right now.
Man, whatever's on Coinbase.
Yeah. You know, and that's what he was like. Well, how do I do? I was like, listen, just stick to Coinbase with that, or Cash App, or Robinhood, because he was in Cali. So
Segway.
Segway. So once he has that.
So let's talk about that.
We were talking about like this regulations the other time when I was on your show, and someone like kind of said something. There was like, regulations would be bad, and it was just like it's coming, like it's inevitable, and that was where I saw it. Especially with the ICOs, it's just they're not going to allow you to raise $5 million for some token that doesn't. There's no need for it. Like
that was me. I don't embrace regulations at all, at all.
So yeah, I mean, but like I said, there's going to be benefits of it, and that would be one of it. Now, a lot of it, yeah, it's going to suck if they try to continue to regulate further and further, but it's going to help weed out a lot of these people that are just trying to scam out money. I mean, I was looking over a couple of ICOs that, what their coin was when they launched and what they are at now, like even though they just hit exchanges and stuff, and anyone that's invested in a lot of these ICOs lost money because they're selling for $1 for their ICO to begin with, but there's no platform, there's no product, there's nothing. And it's just, you lost your money. So not only did you have to wait 4 months, but you also lost your money by investing into it. That's why I was never big on ICOs. I just told people to hold them. If you even 4 months ago, Ethereum was like 420 around that price. 4 months later, it's still above 420, and you would have made money instead of losing, depending upon how much you dump. So I always told people be careful about it. Grab your forks, grab your airdrops. That's a better way than investing in an ICO, unless something really, really big happens. That's basically my thing. But I got to give a shout out too, because he asked me. Shout out to Max Kaplan, coworker.
You know what though? Let's talk a little bit about Robinhood, because you mentioned that a second ago. It's a good segue point. They have over 1.25 million people waiting to trade cryptocurrencies on their platform, and it's only in about 5 or so states. But that's to test the waters. Coinbase wasn't available everywhere right away. You know what I mean? It had to ease its way in. Right, exactly. They're still not, and they're still having problems with banks. So it's not like it's really easy to get Bitcoin. Depending on where you live in America, it's actually quite difficult to get Bitcoin, which is a good thing, because the easier it is to buy, the higher the price will go. So while it is difficult for everybody to get in, if you have that ease, depending on the state you're in, buy some Bitcoin, man, because once everybody can at their local store, or every ATM machine is selling Bitcoin because it's just a software update, that's when it's going to be past that early adoption, early opportunist point. But it still probably won't be too late to have any gains on. I don't see the US dollar gaining any value over time as you hold it, ever. I don't.
As long as
I don't
I keep
see
printing
that.
more, it definitely won't.
No, it's going to go down in value.
They got to run out of ink. If they run out of ink, man, that dollar is going to go up pretty fucking quick, I think. I mean, we don't know what it's like to not have it printed over and over and over.
Cash App right now too, man.
Cash
I've had Cash App for a while, and then I was sitting there like for the past couple weeks. I'm like,
I heard you can't withdraw and stuff.
Well, you can't. I haven't used it. I just literally got it today.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't see the Bitcoin option, and I hit them up on Twitter, and they literally responded right away. We're like, do you have a phone number, an email address linked to the account? And I was like, no. And as soon as I did that, the Bitcoin option. So it's quick,
right there at the top of the screen.
Yeah, the good part of it is they have a debit card too. So it's just like Shift and BitPay. You're going to have another Bitcoin debit card to utilize.
Joshia Fam says credit cards don't want us buying crypto. I'm positive his name isn't Joshua. I just wanted to say it funny because he spelled it funny. But who owns the credit card companies, bruh? The banks. The banks don't want us buying crypto. They don't want us buying crypto. Why? Because every dollar you take out of circulation and put into crypto, it's $10 out of their fractional bullshit. So you're fucking up everything, dude, by taking money out of the U.S. economy and putting that value in the crypto economy. So they're going to make it harder for you to destroy what they have built. This bullshit economy on this bullshit money that if, you know, you were to start, when you buy Bitcoin with your dollars, you're basically taking $10 for every dollar and just setting it on fire and poof, it's gone. It's out of their power now. You're taking power out of the bank's hands and putting it into a decentralized cryptocurrency with no authority. They can't fucking have that, dude. So they're starting with what? Chase, Capital, all these cards and banks. They can't deal with Coinbase or Citigroup. Dude, it's everywhere. Right. So you know what the good options are? Mark, we met the guy, I can't remember the name right now, of an ATM operator. But they got Bitcoin ATMs. They got other ways where you can, I think $1,000 a day, you can, for anonymously, without any KYC, walk up to a Bitcoin ATM, put in $1,000 cash, get your Bitcoin. So take your Visa gift card, whatever you got, bank card, hit the ATM up, go to your bank, get the cash out. If that bank don't fuck with Bitcoin, stop fucking with that bank. Take your money out. Use cash in your hand and use that cash to buy Bitcoin through an ATM. That's my answer.
That was Paul. Actually, he reached out to me earlier today. I'm going to actually work on getting him a Bitcoin ATM inside of Barnaby's bar and restaurant. So that's what I'm working on right now. Hopefully we'll be able to get that up and running. Like you said, I mean, I have a video on my Instagram and I still look back on because it was one of the first Bitcoin ATMs that I seen in face-to-face was down in Florida last winter. And I remember, I think the price was like $1,440 at the time, and I bought like $60 worth. It was like 0.04, so I was like, man, I missed those days. I should have bought more, man.
I would have if I had the money, man. I didn't make much money at my job, and I paid a lot in rent and shit. So I sold my TV, I sold my Xbox, I sold my everything, dude, my entertainment center to buy Bitcoin when it was under 700. I sold everything.
Now you're seeing more and more ATMs like that popping up, man, everywhere. So I mean, and it's great, man. So you should definitely check your local areas and see if you have something, because like you said, you can buy this anonymously and not have anybody know your business about you getting involved in it.
Yeah, check out the Airbits wallet, everybody. You can download Airbits, and they have a directory inside their app. You go to directory, and it will show you all the ATMs and businesses that actually deal with crypto directly. And
that's Airbits?
Airbits, which is now actually rebranding as Edge Secure. It's a multi-asset wallet. Their Airbits wallet is strictly Bitcoin, but I love it for the directory. For me, it's like Google Maps, but for Bitcoin.
Now, did you see that the Bread wallet's going to be adding the addition of buying Bitcoin as well?
I bought their ICO after it hit the exchange because I do not invest in ICOs, but when they hit the exchange and dump, I try to be a savvy investor, so I buy the dump. So I bought some Bread tokens, and I've been following them, and you told me about that, which makes me a happy hodler. But I thought that was kind of cool. I saw what they're doing with their own coins. They're basically using it as like a rewards points, and as you use the Bread wallet to spend your crypto, you earn Bread coin as like a kickback, and then you could trade your Bread coin at participating retailers, or just trade it on the exchange for Bitcoin and keep doing what you've been doing. So Bread's pretty freaking cool. And the first person I ever interviewed in cryptocurrencies was Andreas Antonopoulos. I got fucking lucky, and I interviewed him my first like month in Bitcoin, and he said the only Bitcoin wallet he ever promoted or whatever talk about or whatever like recommend is Bread Wallet. So I know Bread Wallet has a free promoter, and it's Andreas Antonopoulos. So I bought some of their coin, and you're telling me this, so I'm holding it. I'm excited. You know, more and more wallets are going to do this, and it's because of Coinbase being such a shitty means of exchange, and their shitty customer service leaving like such a gap for anybody to jump in and take over.
Since you said that, man, I mean, they're finally stepping up and adding Segwit, which is a good thing. You know, they realize all their screw up.
But that's because Robinhood is scaring the shit out of them with that free commission trading.
I know, but still, I mean, if like any business, if they're going to survive, they're going to have to improve. So, and they have that ability to be the best they can be.
Right.
It's just, are they going to take that direction? That's the thing.
They have to. They will. They don't want to be like the, you know, the MySpace of wallets. You know, they got to keep innovating. Like Facebook, you know, basically buys Instagram and steals Snapchat's technology. you know, Coinbase needs to keep doing that stuff. But it's funny that it happened after a pop and, you know, kind of like a simmer down now of that Bitcoin Cash. After that announcement, now they want to talk about Segwit. It's like, come on, I see what you're doing. It's fucked up, it's shady, but I guess thank you. Like, it's like, you know, it's like thank you for, you know, I guess the mint on my pillow on the way out. You know, I'm getting Segwit.
We needed that though. We needed that news though, man. It's been down, everything. You know what I mean? So between the hearing and then Coinbase, you know,
it's good timing.
Finally, like we're starting to hear positive news again. That's what always happens.
It only happens when the price is down.
News.
Whenever the price is down, we hear shit like Segwit, Lightning Network, you know, and all this stuff. But whenever the price is up, that's it. Nobody talks about anything but the last green candle, man. So I'm happy the price is down. I'm so happy.
I love the Lightning Network. I can't wait.
Yo, that's TorGuard, the VPN router company, VPN provider. They're using it on the mainnet right now. I think it's only them, but there's a lot on the testnet. You know, there's shit going down, but on the mainnet, we got TorGuard, and if you want to buy like a VPN service or a router, you can set up a Bitcoin Lightning channel with them and have it go down. It's pretty damn cool. A lot of people don't understand Lightning Network or how like the Lightning channels kind of work. Either of you two want to try to take a crack at it?
Well, I couldn't personally explain it. I just know that it's like a bunch of like nodes that are connected that kind of give like a route, like a quick routing that somehow like it. I don't know. I mean, it's a very confusing thing, and I'm not a tech person, but I know it involves a lot of different computers, a lot of different nodes to be able to help to increase how the coins are being sent and to. It's a very cool concept. I mean, some of the stuff goes way above my head when we get into this kind of stuff. But I mean, I know the technology ultimately is going to be adopted in between the Lightning Network and LightPay. It's just going to, I mean, they're going to become some of the best merchant sources available, I personally think. And I think it's going to start putting some more value on the undervalued Litecoin.
No, you're right. Yeah, Mark, I was going to say, you got this. What's up with Lightning Network, bruh?
I mean, I don't have like the full breakdown of it. I've only witnessed one of the people. I feel left out here. One of my good friends who was the one that got me into crypto, Moloch. You know, I was his number 2 behind him. He told me everything. He's been messing around with it, and I've got to see him, and you know, he shows me like the demographic of, you know, like what it looks like. It even looks cool. Like if you look at it going, it looks like a constellation of stars with just all these cross and it'll tell
I saw
you, like,
that.
It looks awesome. But basically, kind of like you know how instead of like the Ethereum, the problem with that happened with Ethereum is allowing to develop other coins on chain, on their network and everything. So what you're going to see with the Lightning Network, you don't have to wait for confirmation times. It's going to be off chain. You know, it's going to be snap. It's going to be quick. Right now, from my understanding with him, I think the most you can send right now is like 0.01. Like that's like the average amount. So the more nodes that come on, you know, the bigger that it gets, the bigger the payments, you know, we'll be able to send as far, you know, hopefully maybe we get like up to like a big number of storage. This way, you know, it completely undermines the things that people are trying to go to, like the Ripples. And, you know, I like Lumens. I think Stellar is definitely the better version of Ripple. You know, it's the same thing, but it's actually a crypto. You know, that's just all my opinion. But yeah, you know, it gets rid of the whole scalability issues that's going on. So it solves a lot of things going on with Bitcoin right now, and it desperately needs it. And there's a lot of people.
Since you know a little bit about Lightning Network, something that I've been trying to look into that I haven't had a lot of time with, atomic swaps. Is that working specifically with Lightning Network, or is it just something that's going to work in conjunction with it?
I know people have used it. That's one part of it that I have not seen done. I know Charlie Lee has talked about it a couple times, and it's just something I haven't read about yet. So I wouldn't be able to talk about atomic swaps. I guess
the idea is cool though, because if I understand it correctly, it would allow us to exchange coins out without having to pay a fee.
Yeah, and exchanges are going to lobby against that upgrade to Bitcoin's blockchain. So be prepared for a lot of FUD when that comes.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, you know, I was stating this, you know, in Philadelphia, and I feel like, you know, as even with exchanges, you know, no matter what it is, I think like the future of exchanges is going to be like where you don't have to deposit your funds onto an exchange. It's going to be, they're there so you could have the thing, but it'll be like a peer-to-peer of, you know, your trades. I feel like that. It's going to be where, especially with the Lightning Network, is
like directly from your wallet to the exchange and then back into your wallet.
No, just from your wallet to another wallet, dude. That's atomic swaps.
Well, yeah, wallet to another wallet, but there's still going to be, as far as with an exchange, I feel like
that would just be the user interface. They would never be in possession of your keys because of that.
There would be a user interface,
like Shapeshift, a non-custodial user interface. Shapeshift.
Yes. So I feel like that's going to be the future, you know, Lightning Network exchanges, you know, but obviously you see how it is with, you know, it doesn't matter which exchange it is. The problem with exchanges now is we run 24/7. There's no downtime. This is global. We don't have the ability to upgrade servers or do maintenance like, you know, the stock market does, because stock market, they can start maintenance at 5 o'clock at night and they can finish it by 8 o'clock in the morning before the market opens and everything's good to go. You can't do that in crypto. So a lot of people are freaking out when, you know, oh, well, what happened? Well, you know, these are computers, you know, things go wrong. Data doesn't get transferred right. So a lot of
speaking of that, man, didn't something like that just happen with Binance just like today?
Yeah,
they were like locked out. They locked us all out for a certain amount of time because of they're saying overloads or was no hack going on.
It happens, man. We're still babies.
And then they also decided, because of everybody spreading FUD, they decided that they were going to upload a bunch of their Bitcoin into a hot wallet and tell people, hey, we just did this. So they have money in the hot wallet. It's not what I would put into my hot. They put like 1/3 of all their currency into a hot wallet. You should never do that. But they were trying to prove a point. I guess they went around it wrong. But like that's what a lot, you know, you have money. And that's why I tell everybody, you know, only leave what you're willing to lose on an exchange, or if you're trading and you're done trading, withdraw at the end of the night. There's no reason to do that, you know, and that's a lot of these exchanges, security is good, but it's just for your own protection.
It's safety. You know? It's just safety, man.
It's not a wallet service, therefore you should never leave your funds on anywhere. That's just, and that's how I've always been, regardless, you know. And that's one of the biggest things that I preach. Just withdraw at the end of the night. You know, pay the transaction fee to send it back to your wallet. At least you can go to bed at night knowing that, you know, you'll wake up to your coins and you don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah, just like CryptoMaak just said, Joshia fam, He said Binance is holding his coins hostage. Yo, the Coin Alley, what is up, bro? How goes it, man? Thanks for stopping by. I wanted to do a quick little very basic breakdown of Lightning Network. I like to kind of look at it like a bar tab. So instead of going into the bar and every time you buy a beer, you give the bartender your Visa and the bar has to pay the transaction fee to communicate with Visa, you just give them your card and say, hey, let's do an open tab. You know, my limit $50, bro. And the bartender will tell you, like, yo, dude, you reached your limit at your tab. What do you want to do? And if you want to close out your tab, it's one transaction through Visa, and you got maybe 7 beers or whatever, instead of 7 transactions going through Visa's network. Lightning Network is going to do like the same thing. It's going to create the ability for channels of communication. So you can walk into a bar and start a Bitcoin tab. You put, you know, 0.1 Bitcoin up in the Lightning Network in a Lightning channel. The bar doesn't have to put anything up because they're not going to have to refund you for beer. You know what I mean? Like, you're good. Every time you buy a beer, that ledger in the Lightning Network, in that channel, it says that went from 0.1 Bitcoin to 0.09 Bitcoin, and 0.01 Bitcoin goes to the bar. And every time you buy a beer, you lose some Bitcoin. It moves down to their wallet or their, you know, to where it says they have it. And say you only spent half of your money throughout the night. Well, you can forget to close out your tab like most people do at Visa, and the bar can close it out for you. You know, the bartender will just sign your name or whatever, or just scribble on it they forgot to close out their tab, and you know, they can close out the tab. So even with the Lightning Network, on a Lightning, through a Lightning channel, if I were to have a heart attack in the bathroom, the bar can still get their money when they signal to the blockchain for that one transaction to take place instead of those multiple transactions. That'll save a lot of bandwidth on the Bitcoin blockchain, and it will save a lot on the transaction fees throughout your night in the establishment. And it gets fucking cooler, dude, because if I have a fucking Lightning channel with the bar, and Mark and fucking RiceCrypto roll up in the goddamn bar, and they don't have a channel with the bar yet, but we have pre-existing channels, they could pay the bar through the Lightning Network using my channel that we have already have existed with me and Mark and everybody. Like, we already got this friendly network going where we always send money back and forth, so it doesn't really matter. And now out of the 3 of us, have one Lightning Network channel with the bar. You know, CryptoMaak and RiceCrypto can walk into the bar and use that through our network. So they can just distribute that ledger right on through without ever using Bitcoin's blockchain. So there was never a transaction on the blockchain yet until we all cash out and signal to the blockchain that these channels are closed and we're going home for the night. Or I might come back to the bar the next day and leave the channel open. Who cares? It's a running tab. It's like having a gift certificate for Walmart, kind of, if you think about it in a way where you're putting your value in a channel somewhere, like a Walmart gift card, and you could really only use it there at that time. And obviously now we have means of cashing out those gift cards. So it's pretty damn cool thinking of it as a new age bar tab meets like crypto gift certificate. It's a lot of personal responsibility, but that's it in a nutshell for me, guys.
Yeah, the bi-directional payment channels are another feature of that. That's a great way to put it, at a bar tab. I like that.
I love it, dude, because that's how it clicked for me when I first started hearing people explain it. I was like, oh, it's a fucking bar tab. I know how to do that. I know how to do that.
That's how you have to break things down, though. It
would be like pulling it off chain and then dealing with the transaction off chain, and then once the transaction's been completed, put it on chain so it could be put in the ledger. Is that
right?
The way I'm understanding it?
Exactly.
Yes.
And you can add to that channel. So say you went over your tab, you can add more Bitcoin to that Lightning channel and, you know, keep going. But that would be one more transaction. That's all. But you could also start with a pretty big transaction just in case. That way there's only 2 transaction fees throughout your night at the bar. The opening of the channel and the closing of the channel. Not say if you bought 7 beers and 3 shots, you don't have to do 10 transaction fees. Just 2. Just fucking 2. And if
That's
you
awesome.
guys walked in the bar, you can do it through my channel. So you actually save a transaction fee because you never had to open a channel to begin with.
Do you know what the requirements are to like run a node on the Lightning Network?
I think
Because
you got
I've
to
been
put your
trying to-
money where your mouth is on that one. I think you have to put some crypto up in the node or some crap. I don't know exactly how
Okay.
that works, but I do know that there's not as many Lightning nodes as there could be. It's not cheap and it doesn't really pay anything, so it's not like you're incentivized to do it in any way other than contribute to the blockchain. And I think you can have some kind of local source of, you know, knowing that your transactions will hit a node, you know?
Okay, that's cool.
So
was curious how that
what do
was.
you guys think though about all this stuff all wrapped up? The SEC, CFTC, Coinbase, Segwit, Robinhood going crypto, Bitcoin itself getting the Lightning Network mainnet tested by TorGuard. Where do you see this all like building up to? In correlation to the price and where it's at and where it could go.
I mean, for me, I was playing around with like trades for a while, looking at the graphs and doing TA. Where I see the strongest point is definitely 6,000. It's gone down to that twice and immediately bounced right back off of it. So there's a lot of support at 6,000. I feel comfortable saying, you know, between 6 and 8 is, you know, where our mark is for right now. You know, and like I said earlier, it's until like the next news hits. It's how this has always been. It's, you know, stable for a while, then the next big thing comes out with it, and next thing you know, it starts to moon again, and it's just an incline. But it already tells you that, you know, we're here to say that, you know, they want us to govern. Well, one of them said they wanted us to govern our own selves. And, you know, a lot of people in the community already do that, you know, by calling out scammers, you know, telling people, you know, this is a scam or this is fraud. Don't do this. Don't do that. You know, and of course, wherever there's money, there's always going to be scammers, whether it's USD, you know, it doesn't matter if there's money, whatever currency it is, there's always going to be people trying to take the shortcut and grab it. But it's already mainstream. It's so easy to buy Bitcoin now. It's out of hand. There's so many apps. Like anything in the trending, Bitcoin, crypto, everything. If you look at trending on anything, it's there every day. It's there. So it's in everybody's faces. I'm sure. I know a lot of my friends that aren't crypto people are sick of me on Facebook because it's all I talk about. You know, and they want to be like, it's a scam, it's a Ponzi scheme, and I'm like, well, you know, you have your opinion, but this is, at the end of the day, this is the currency that I choose to live my life with, and that's that. And I've been doing pretty well with it, so I can't complain. You know, I'm surrounded by a lot of people in this industry who are more successful than I am, more intelligent than I am, and I know that I'm in the right place. If I'm not the smartest person in the room, that's exactly where I always want to be, because it gives me the ability to continue to grow and learn, and that's all. I'm a natural jock. Like, I'm a sports guy. Like, you know what I mean? I did not fit into technology world, you know, and society standards for the most part, you know, but I was willing to learn, and I got in it, and I fell in love with this, and that's what I've been doing for the past 5 years. So, you know, huge shout out to, you know, Molik, Blasco, Matt, you know, a lot of these guys, man, that got me involved into this game, man. It's been a true blessing, you know, just learning business stuff as well, and, you know, taxes, how to save for tax, all this kind of stuff, man, and just diversify. And like, I would just continue to live my day. So mainstream's here, crypto's here, Bitcoin is not dead. I've heard that a million times. Let's just keep growing. Keep growing in this space.
I agree with you, CryptoMaak, and And basically, I think, like, personally, I think that this is going to be like the slow beginning to us seeing some healthy growth in Bitcoin. Like you said, it's here to stay. It's hit the mainstream, and people have so many avenues to be able to buy, and tax money is coming in. So with these fiat airdrops hit, and we see more money come into space, I think we're going to start seeing the price start going back up to that $10,000 range. But I agree with CryptoMaak that we're going to see this thing teetering around that $8,000 mark. And ultimately, I mean, this is technology that we believe that can change the future. And if you believe in it long term and you're getting into cryptocurrency for that purpose, then you're going to see some exponential gains in the future. But it's going to be long term, and you can't be greedy. Stay away from these ICOs. But ultimately, the more that the U.S. government talks about this, and the more that you're seeing regulations happen and more avenues for people to be able to purchase, this mainstream adoption is going to take place. And then we're going to see Metcalfe's law, where, just by supply and demand, the more people you get in the space, the price will go up. And then when we do see the price go up, it will be a lot more healthier, and the corrections, I think, won't be as big as they've been in the past. Mm-hmm. That's just my speculation on the future. But I think the future looks bright, ultimately. I just think that we got to get through this little slump. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, especially with ICOs and stuff, I feel like if the regulations do start coming, just imagine all that money flowing into, the coins with the use cases that have, a real purpose.
Right.
The Bitcoins, the Ethereums, the Litecoins, the Dashes,
But
Dashes,
how the hell is that even going to go?
Big.
Like, if they do regulate ICOs, how the fuck is this going to work, man? Like, seriously, I can't think of it working. I don't even know how it would work.
I mean, it's obviously going to have to go through some sort of application process with the SEC, but ultimately, if they're not willing to do that, then they're just not going to operate in the United States. And you see ICOs right now that are going on that won't allow people in the United States to purchase because they don't want to deal with the SEC. So even when regulation takes place, you're going to see healthier ones being offered here in the United States. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you're still going to have that same ICO market of speculative crap that's out there because you're not going to have the regulation coming from other countries. I don't even think the European Union, as far as the central banks, are even concerned with regulation regarding cryptocurrencies.
Well, I feel like the government, they already have their piece. Hey, they're making 40% off. That's the best thing for crypto for them. It's like, we don't need to buy, we don't need to regulate. We're making 40% off whatever we make. Japan just came out today. They're making 55% off of Japanese clients for crypto. 55%. Like, it's already a huge take-in that's way overdue. So I would like, if they're going to regulate, let's regulate it back to like normal tax, like a paycheck, not 40%.
Right.
Like that, it doesn't leave a lot of room for error. So a lot of times, even doing my taxes, it's like, okay, I made this, and then it's just like, okay, I didn't make this. So, and that's trying to be honest, it's just like, listen, I'm struggling at finding everything that I've done. So I was like, I've known this game. I know how to read blockchains and transactions and stuff. I think that's where they struggle. They're so far behind that if they're going to start regulating, they need to get it right the first time. And I feel like that's why they are taking the approach that they are. It's like, listen, if we do this and we screw up and then they find a way, it's kind of like certain drugs, I guess. Like, okay, well, this drug's banned. Okay, well, if we just add this extra molecule to this now, it's the same drug, but it's not the same compound. Therefore, it's not illegal because you said that this compound was. And that's how like a lot of pharmaceutical companies and, all these knockoff drug companies make their money by just continue like the spices, the K2,
right. Just a change in the
that's all they kept doing. So I feel like they know that if they do this, they need to get it right on the first time, or someone's going to find a loophole, and then they're basically back to square one. So I just feel like they're behind in the technology, and I feel bad for whoever in the IRS is doing the cryptocurrency part of it, because I'm struggling with my own trading, so good luck to you. I mean, I'm an honest person, so I'm going to claim it. It's, man, I feel bad for it, but that's what you get for trying to take 40% of my money.
Yeah, right. I'm with you, man. That's what I say. Like, I pay taxes every time I buy eggs, bread, and milk. Like, I pay taxes all the fucking time. I got you. Until I'm dead, I
Yeah.
pay taxes. I just don't feel like I should go out of
Why aren't
my
my roads
way
fixed
to
yet?
pay more taxes, especially if I'm using a currency that has nothing to do with your government at all. Just saying.
Right.
I'd
It's not
rather.
even a currency to
Dude,
them. It's still
No, it's an asset.
property.
Yeah,
It's an
yeah.
asset,
It's an
property.
asset.
So
It's
it's
an
like,
asset.
I will trade
yeah.
you my asset to fill the potholes on my route to my friend's house because it's a shitty drive, and I would fix it myself, but it's illegal for me to actually do that on my own. Like, I'm not allowed to fix a pothole legally. So, and I pay taxes, eggs, bread, and milk, but if I give up my crypto, I want it to go to a smart contract where my city is asking everybody who contributed to that smart contract, where should these allocations be diversified so they don't go to a fucking Lambo or to Chris Christie's fucking beach house, and my ride to my friend's house is a lot less bumpy. That's all I'm trying to say. If I'm giving you crypto, you have to use it as such, and to use crypto as such, it needs to be used in a smart contract where it is open source. I get to vote.
It. Yep.
Exactly,
Yeah.
dude. But they don't want
Yeah.
that. They don't want that. We can't have that. All these
No.
public ledgers and shit.
That's why we need to get our boy CFTF. There's too many
CFTC.
letters, man.
Giancarlo.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
The president 2020, bro. Let's get him in there.
Since you're
We'll
talking
fully
about that,
fund him
Adam
with crypto.
Kokesh. Adam Kokesh, man, he's the leading libertarian candidate. And I'm actually going to be doing an interview with him Sunday, and he's talking about bringing the blockchain to the Libertarian Party. And I'm going to be talking to him about it, but I believe they're going to be doing an ICO for the Libertarian Party, which should be pretty interesting. So, you know, I think it's great that we got politicians. Can also look into Coin Center. Coin Center is a nonprofit organization in D.C. that supports and tries to educate congressmen and senators so that they're aware of blockchain technology and what cryptocurrencies are. So when you talked about them getting it right the first time, I believe that they're going to definitely have one of the best teams that they can possibly have when they come up with these regulations, because they can see, I think the United States realizes that they're a falling economic power in the world, and changing that and adapting to the future and embracing cryptocurrencies is going to bring the United States into a completely different era that I in my opinion. So
yeah, man, that's awesome. I had Connor Drygotas on my show, and he
Better
has
Money
the
Pack.
Better Money Pack. Yeah, dude.
Yep.
So I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure I gave him
Same
a quick little
concept.
shout
Yeah,
out.
same concept. He's a good dude. I talked to him recently.
I've had him on my show. We stay in talks and stuff. I always share his stuff, and he's like, we have referral links, and I'm like, I got you, bro. I'm just sharing your shit, cause like if we want this crypto thing to take off, we have to support the politicians that support our better interest. And if we leave it up to the politicians that only accept fiat, the only people supporting those politicians are using fiat, the winner is going to be fucking fiat. So I think we get a president in there who accepted Bitcoin, whose campaign was Dash funded. That's a pro crypto campaign, man.
Well, one of the most important things that I can see coming, honestly, is when we're seeing this regulation, the best part about this is it's going to allow the institutions to be able to utilize things like the Lightning Network and all these different types of things to integrate it into the system. If we want to be able to get out of what we know today as the banking system and out of fiat money, we have to kind of merge with the old system in order for us to be able to outdo and get rid of the old system and then just phase into a whole new era. And I think this regulation, if done right, is going to be the seed to that. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Mark?
Yeah, I was waiting on you. No, I mean, like, I agree, pretty much Pretty much, anything. And I talked about last time, even with like the election, like the presidential election needs to be on the blockchain itself. Like, okay, why does the state of Pennsylvania have 6 billion voters when there's only 3 million people living there? Like, it would be obvious to catch, all that stuff with consensus. So all the data, just put it on the blockchain. The blockchain's definitely not going anywhere, so it's here to stay.
More people turned out for that Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl parade than they ever did for any voting period ever.
Yeah, that place was nuts.
Yeah. I did not want to. I love the Eagles. Shout out to Philly. I even got the love tatted right there. But nah, I was not going to the Super Bowl parade. Not happening. I know Philadelphians. And that party, I'm just a suburban boy now, man. I'm all like laid back. I used to be a city street rat running around. Not anymore, man. I don't think I can hang.
Kenneth, man, somebody was talking about the Litecoin fork, and since they were asking it, I think maybe we could talk about that real quick. Does anybody know anything about Litecoin Cash yet?
Scam.
A scam. Charlie Lee said stay away from it, have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I know, but people...
But here's the thing, ready? Somebody's going to say, hey, I have a wallet. It's going to support the fork. Deposit your Bitcoin here. Just give us your private key, and then you'll get your Bitcoin, your Litecoin. That's going to be the problem. Everyone's going to do that.
Their private keys out.
Oh, it's going to happen.
The whole point of you having a private key is to keep your private key private. So don't get greedy and think you're going to get, because they're offering 10 times the amount of Litecoin Cash for every Litecoin you hold. Well, you might screw up, give them your public address, and not only not get no Litecoin Cash, but lose your Litecoin. So you guys need to educate yourselves and keep your private keys private. That's why they're called private. They're yours. Don't give them to anybody else.
Yeah, Charlie Lee said have nothing to do with it.
He's trying to fight them too and trying to get Litecoin like copyrighted or something. This way that can't even happen.
That makes it more centralized, but this is why some centralized shit has to go down. But I think he can actually get it and do that and actually have it transferred over to the Litecoin Foundation for ownership, so it has a centralized, semi-decentralized authority behind all this like legality. But yeah, I heard he's trying to make sure that like nobody can do this again. But yeah, that's where I think what's going to happen. Litecoin Cash is going to, be popular, and somebody's going to say they have a wallet where if you hold your Litecoin here at the moment of the split, you'll have your Litecoin and Litecoin Cash. But at that moment, you will lose everything. Everything will be gone.
Same thing that exactly happened with Bitcoin Diamond, because people were putting their private keys in the Bitcoin Diamond
Bitcoin
wallets.
Gold did the same fucking thing, man. The same fucking thing on their website. They had a wallet that was stealing Bitcoin through that same process. It's not new.
But it wasn't them. It was a third-party wallet, but they still had a link to it on their website, which they shouldn't have allowed, because that was like...
They should have looked over the source code. They probably like, oh, this wallet looks cool. Okay, someone built a wallet for us. That saves us the trouble. And the next thing you know, it's like the whole Cryptsy matter with Lucky 7 coin. It just, the back door of the code and stole all the funds. So that's the other thing I try to get people involved in is, hey, just skim over some code. Just look at it. And,
how much was Mt. Gox? How much was that?
Mt. Gox?
Yeah.
It was a lot.
I know recently there was a hack for like fucking $250 million worth of what was it, XLM or Ripple or something?
NEM, wasn't that the one hacked?
Yeah, it was NEM, dude. That was crazy. Not too many people are talking about that.
I have the data all right here. 2011, 24,609 total Bitcoin was stolen. That's $265 million. 2012, 111,000. That's 1,198,000 or million, whatever. 2013, 1,454. So that's, it was a good year that a lot of funds weren't really stolen. 2014, 660,000 Bitcoin were stolen. 2015, 31,000. Just off of it.
Yeah, but if I remember correctly, that NIM, I think in dollar would have been considered the biggest heist in all history of the world, as far as any sort of like anything, like robberies, bank robberies, anything. It was like the largest
It was
heist
$530 million worth of NEM. Thank you for that, DeAndrea Diaz. $530 million worth of NEM. So that puts Mount Gox in, like, you know, kind of like a get the hell back there. But nobody's talking about this recent hack, Mark. And you know how exchanges roll. How the fuck is nobody talking about this? $530 million. And we also had BitConnect. We had USI Tech exit. Well, semi-exit, I guess. People that support USI Tech would argue.
Well, they're still kind of in the middle ground stage, apparently. But all these companies are basically doing the same thing. They're exiting the United States because they are securities and they don't want to go through the process and deal with the SEC.
But yo, are exchanges next though? That's what I'm thinking. Like, the year of exchange exits may be upon us because they don't want to go through these regulations. Do you know how much backlog these exchanges have to show for trade history and all this stuff? And
but with Binance, Binance right now is a decentralized exchange, right?
Not really. They just have a decentralized currency they use for their market trading. The exchange itself is centralized, though. It's not like Novo or NVO or E-Trade or Ether Delta or whatever. They're actually like fully decentralized, I believe. That's why they're so shitty.
Okay. Because I mean, I was thinking it was a decentralized exchange because, like, I know, like, you don't even have to give them KYC up to a certain amount of Bitcoin you want to withdraw. So you could technically remain as a ghost on Binance, and they wouldn't know how to attach it to your ID unless somebody who's a tech person wanted to attach it to your IP address or something like that. But
no, that's true. They don't ask for any KYC up to 2 Bitcoin, but that doesn't make it decentralized. That would be like, if I could run their exchange software on my computer and you could run their exchange software on your computer, and, you know, if their server goes down, you know, whatever, we can still have people running, you know, Binance nodes or whatever, so the trades can still take place. Yo, guys, we're doing a little giveaway here. I wanted to give some crypto away to the commune.
Yeah, I saw you were doing that. What are you doing? You giving away some Dash?
Yeah, I wanted to give away some Dash to people. I'm trying to figure out where it went. Aha.
I don't talk enough about Dash, man. Dash is a great coin, man.
Love it.
I
still have a giveaway up on my my Twitter page too that expires Monday. So if people want to get involved on that, that's at CryptoMaak. Or, well, look for CryptoMaak. It's at M_215, I believe.
Send me a link. I'll add it.
Giving away a Litecoin on there. So it expires on Monday. So make sure you just follow the rules and get yourself involved in that.
All right, guys. We're going to pick one out of 49 potential winners. So let me draw this up real quick. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Gotta do that little drum roll.
Kayla Robinson, you're the winner. I'm going to send you an email, Kayla. I'm going to send you an email at Blonde Shazam. Oh, I love the fucking Twitter name. Blonde Shazam.
Sounds hot.
Oh, Shizm. S-H-A-Z-A-M. I thought it had an extra H there because my cursor was on top of it. Anyway, you're the winner. And I am stoned. So, yeah, guys, so to wrap things up for everybody listening, I just chat the chat with CryptoMaak and RiceCrypto about the SEC, the CFTC, regulations, Coinbase adding Segwit, Robinhood adding cryptocurrencies. You know, we covered everything, dude. Recent shit. It's crazy, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Pound that thumbs up button. Shout out to It's Me, a Boss Lady. She said 10 DRC, get a mohawk with Decred logo design. That would be hilarious. Oh, man.
You can model it after my mohawk over here.
Yeah, they told me to get a mohawk. I said, give me 1 ether and I'll get a mohawk, dude. But other than that, I don't think I could. My head isn't shaped for it, man. I'd look like a fucking shark. Dun it, dun it, dun it, dun it. right, I gotta get going, guys. Hey, CryptoMaak, let everybody know where they can find you, and after that, RiceCrypto, let the audience know where they can find you, and we can bid them adieu.
Twitter, Steam it, Facebook at CryptoMaak, and you can also email me at CryptoMaak@gmail.com. That's MAAK. There's no R, so it's not Mark, it's Mac, like Tom Brady would say.
Oh, or he'd say it crying. And don't forget to send him nudes. They don't have to be your nudes. Just send CryptoMaak nudes. All right, RiceCrypto, let them know where they can find you.
All right, you guys can check me out on YouTube at RiceCrypto. I'm on Facebook at ChrisRiceDW. I'm also on Twitter, Instagram, Steemit, and DTube at RiceCrypto. So I want to give a shout out to Steemit, man, because all three of us are on Steemit. And shout out to DTube, man. You guys, if you're not familiar with Steemit or DTube, you definitely need to check out those decentralized platforms.
I have links in the description box below to all three of our Steemit accounts. I figured that would be the best funnel. Go to Steemit. I will have my YouTube videos there and other things all on Steemit. So Steemit is where I'll be doing everything. And I'm pretty sure most crypto enthusiasts and crypto personalities will be doing the same. So check us out at Steemit in the description box below. And congratulations to Kayla Robinson, man. You got $10 worth of Dash
Kayla.
coming your way. All right, guys. Thanks for shooting the shit with me tonight, man. Y'all have a night.
Thanks for tuning in. Kenneth, thanks for having me, brother.
Thanks for having me again. Oh.